How's everybody doing? You guys are watching Helgen Tech, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Moto Edge 2022 edition. Now, there are a couple of variants. Just keep in mind the year changes on these things, but this is the latest one from Motorola. Now, in this small review, I will be leaving out a couple of things. I'm not going to talk about the OS, which is pretty much stock Android, and I'm not going to talk about the performance with the chip because expect the latest and the greatest performance with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which I had no issues whatsoever. But I'm going to talk about the design of this thing. It's a very good looking phone. It's got, I think, Gorilla Glass 3 in the back. It could be 3 or 5, but it's a more affordable glass that feels like plastic on the back. And that might get you guys a little turned off, especially the fact that it feels like plastic. The rails are plastic, and I think there's a little bit of plastic mixed in the camera layout. But other than that, it's a very good looking device. I went with the blue version. I forgot the official name, but it looks better than the other one. So I really recommend getting this color. Now, this thing is a good size phone. If you compare it to the S21 Ultra, which I have right here on the side, it's almost the same size. Same cutout. Almost everything's exactly the same. Even the back looks very similar. It's just the S21 Ultra is obviously the better looking device, and the layout is almost exactly the same. Like I said, one just more expensive than the other and very similar. So if you like the design of the S21, you'll like the design of this one. Now, the first thing about this phone is the display. I'm going to talk about the display. It's got a pretty nice display. It's currently running 2400 by 1080 pixels, with a 20:9 ratio, 393 for the PPI, with a POLED display that is capable of 144 refresh rate. Now, it does have an 87.51 screen to body ratio, so it's very, very nice. The only problem I have with this phone is not the brightest, especially outside, and there's times you have to drop it to your lower body to be able to get that better view angle where your shade is just helping you a little bit, so it doesn't mess with the brightness. You walk outside, and as you can see, I really don't get the brightest screen possible, and unfortunately, that really can hinder your experience. Now, I'm not saying it's not terrible on the outsides. There's areas like right now where it's shaded, it looks fantastic, and the display looks gorgeous. But it's just those very lit Florida days like these just doesn't quite cut it for the device. Now, another cool thing about this phone's display, like I said, you do have your 144 refresh rate, but keep in mind, even the S21 Ultra and a couple of these other devices don't have 144. Realistically, you won't notice the 144 difference versus 120, but you go into settings and you can see it right here. You're able to grab it and customize it to auto. You can go to 60 or 144. It's up to you. The phone by default is going to be on auto to save some battery life. But if you pay $8.99 for this thing, you want to toggle 144 and see if you notice the difference. It's really snappy. Realistically, you won't see the difference between 120 and 144, but it's a nice feature. It can be a little bit gimmicky for 144, but despite that, it's very nice. Not a lot of phones have that. Now, I want to talk about the battery life on this phone. It's got a 4800 milliamp hour battery, and it can get you about your day. If you're a heavy user, honestly, especially with 144, it's not going to last too long. Now, I did lose some of my actual evidence of my battery life results, so I do apologize, but some people have claimed to get a specific amount of battery life, and mine was pretty close to what they're saying right here. So they're saying they got about this amount of time. I got about the same, but overall it was overwhelming in some days, especially on my heavier use days where I had YouTube rolling all day. It really killed the phone. And if you decide to use this thing and start gaming with it, because I will be doing a little gaming test on it with Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, etc., you're going to see that this thing gets killed by gaming really bad. So it's supposed to be a battery efficient chip. That wasn't the case for me. So we're going to load up Shadow Legends over here on the phone, and I'm going to show you some gameplay of me playing it. And not only that, the phone plays fantastic games. It plays really well, but the battery life is bad. We're here to the 76 right now. I'm going to play it just a little bit, let it roll, and you guys are going to see the difference in just a couple of minutes.
Hey, you ready for more?
Alright, it's been a little bit. I'm going to check the corner. It says it dropped to 74%, so I lost 2% already. Hasn't even been that long. I know it could have been close, but anyways, I'm going to talk about the hub in the corner. You have all these little features. You can start clicking. You can take screenshots. You can put everything on silent. You can go to your messages, toggle settings. It's just really fun stuff that you see. You toggle the disturb and it turns it on in the corner. Really cool stuff that I was really impressed with Motorola. You get Twitter, you get this pop-out window. You can open up your Twitter, send your tweet. By the way, guys, follow my tweet. My Twitter is Helgen Tech. It'll be right here. Follow my Helgen Tech. I really appreciate it. But you'll be able to tweet, do whatever you want. Now, keep in mind while you're doing this, it will pause everything else in the game, so you won't be able to do anything. So make sure you're on a not online game, or if you're in an online game, you're somewhere safe to be able to turn this off. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Overall, like I said, it's really good phone. It's not good with the gaming. It performs really good gaming. The battery life is not good with the gaming. Let me clarify that. And it was overwhelming gaming for a couple of hours, or gaming for like an hour, and seeing your phone lose a whole bunch of battery life. But overall, you'll have fun with it. Just don't play a lot of graphically intense games with this phone. It'll stay cool and everything. It's just will lose a lot of battery life. Now for the audio, you get some pretty solid audio with the dual speakers. Obviously, the bottom one is way stronger than the top one, but it sounds pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, and you guys take a listen for yourself. Beyond impressed with the D-pad. I like a very clicky D-pad. It doesn't click too much. There's probably a piece of cardboard somewhere in there that's making it
let's go ahead and cover that up.
As responsive, and it does have a turbo button. All right, well, looks like it's going.
See if we can cover the top one.
No, this is a fantastic game on the Switch. Oh God.
You guys can see you get a really good viewing angles.
Play at night.
It sounds very good as well.
We're gonna try. What should we try? By the way, no one download Arc on the Nintendo Switch. Is definitely not worth it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to Doom, because I feel like Doom is one of those games that definitely require at least a remote. So. All right, now we have audio out of the way. I want to talk about the camera. The camera is okay camera. So that's a 50 megapixel camera on the front, then a 50 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. So it's an interesting camera. I'm not a huge fan of. Now Motorola has this little gimmicks and stuff that you can do to add to it, like shaking the phone, and you can open your camera. But that's not gonna stop it from taking, or even make it take better pictures, because I really am not a huge fan of the pictures of this phone. Take a look for yourself, guys. This picture right here was very disappointing. This was fully zoomed, and it just did not look good at all. Some pictures came out nicely, but especially on low light like these coming over here inside the house, the dogs did not come out good at all. It looks flushed. You can't even see too much detail. Now overall, you can make this phone your main camera, and it really doesn't do that bad of a job. The front has a 60 megapixel camera, the solid. I really didn't do the test on those, but realistically, the phone for $899 should take pictures as good as a Pixel or a OnePlus 10 Pro, but I find it underwhelming. I'm not saying it's a bad camera, but for $899, it really didn't do the job I wanted it to do. But overall, it's an okay camera. Alright guys, other than the negative, which is the underwhelming camera, I want to talk about one of my favorite things, and it's from the lock screen. Whenever you get notifications, you just go at the bottom and hold it down, and you get a whole preview of that notification. That is the coolest thing ever. I mean, whatever notification it is, you hold it down and you're going to get a little notification there. You read it and you preview it. You don't have to fully open it. Now, you can choose the little options to reply, and let's see. Once you go over there and hit reply, you will have to unlock the phone, but it'll take you straight to that. So that's super cool. Now, my other favorite thing on this phone, funny, my two favorite things came from the lock screen, has to do with when you play music. Now, we're going to go to the music app. We're going to find YouTube Music, and we're going to find random music right here. We're going to turn the volume all the way down to avoid copyright, and we're going to play a song. Anyways, we're going to leave it right there, and we're going to go to the lock screen, and boom, everything's going to show right on this screen. You swipe to the left from the lock screen, whole screen. Really cool feature. I really enjoy this because this really made me want to just hold the phone and make the phone my main phone. But anyway, guys, overall, the phone is an okay phone. I don't think it's the best phone, especially for $899, but it does get the job done. It's a powerful phone that will get you by. I just don't recommend it for $899. Again, I enjoy the phone, but not $899. Alright guys, if you find yourself enjoying this video, go ahead and comment down below. Hit the like button. I really appreciate it. I got much more content coming. Thank you guys for watching.